Welcome to the Meditation Nest. Here, bedtime stories become gentle meditations designed to help your thoughts unwind as you slow the tempo of your life and embrace the night ahead. I invite you to slow your breath, soften your thoughts, and find peace as you listen. This is your time to rest, reflect, and dream. Greetings. Tonight's story is called The Shape of Rain. A quiet evening unfolds through sound and touch, guiding a weary mind toward stillness. This episode is a sensory meditation on rhythm, sound, and release. How the simplest patterns in nature can guide us back to calm when the mind has grown restless. Through the soft voice of rain, we begin to remember the comfort of slowing down, of listening instead of striving, of letting each moment arrive as naturally as a drop landing on still water. Settle in. Breathe easily. Let this story wash over you, steady and kind, as you drift toward peace. All afternoon, the light has been fading in its own unhurried way. Clouds gather slowly over the ridge, swelling with color deep enough to taste. Even before rain arrives, the air carries a hidden weight, as though the world is holding a note too long for comfort. I sit by the window, one hand around a cooling cup of tea. The scent rises, chamomile, faint honey, and joins the damp fragrance from beyond the glass. The first drop of rain lands, an almost sound, then another near it. Each small impact widens through still air until the quiet begins to pulse. The roof answers with its soft percussion, steady, patient, grounding. Somewhere further away, a low echo travels across the hills, rolling the sky like a calm voice finishing an old story. I feel the rhythm before I think about it, a pattern the body recognizes quicker than thought. Heart aligning with roof, breath aligning with sky, the hum of the day, screens, chatter, unfinished thoughts, loosens its hold. Every detail that once seemed immediate fades behind the new music building outside. Rain gathers confidence. It draws small shapes on glass, delicate threads winding downward until they meet and form tiny rivers. They twist and merge, leaving trails like handwriting I cannot read. I follow each line with my eyes until focus softens. The scent outside changes, deep and bright all at once. Earth opening, pine warmed from within, air cooled by distance. It enters through the gap I left above the sill, filling the room with quiet life. I lean closer, letting a stray drop touch the skin of my wrist. Cool, round, lighter than breath, it breaks apart, leaving a trace that tracks the curve of my hand. That single touch tells a story centuries older than thought. The return of water to earth and earth to rest. Time stretches thin. The world turns to watercolor, gray, green, and amber blending until edges blur. Each sound folds into the next. Roof into leaves, leaves into ground, ground into air. The storm isn't wild, it's complete. A song that needs no beginning or end. I close my eyes and lean into the chair. Wood presses gently against my spine, solid, kind, familiar. The rain continues above me, inside me, everywhere at once. It fills spaces I hadn't realized were empty. My breath slows to match it. I draw in, release, draw in again. A natural pattern, simple and entire. Thought returns occasionally, soft as fog over water. A memory of the office. A list waiting for tomorrow. A voice half remembered. Each thought arrives, drifts, and dissolves back into the rhythm of falling water. No judgment, only movement. I listen closer. There are layers within the sound. The gentle ticking on metal, the deeper drumming on earth, the tiny break of droplets against the window frame. Each layer distinct, yet woven into the same fabric. It feels like hearing the breath of the world itself, measured, peaceful, unforced. My mind begins to mirror it. Edges smooth, weight lightens. A little while ago, the space inside my head felt crowded. Now it feels wide as the darkening field outside. The storm builds toward fullness, and somewhere within it, I begin to release what I've been holding, the scatter of appointments, the attempt to remember everything all at once, the quiet ache beneath each plan. Rain handles that kind of burden easily. It takes sound and weight and turns them fluid. Worry dissolves along with dust on the path. I tilt my head back, close my eyes, listening for patterns I might name, but there are none to name, only repetition, like a heartbeat finding its comfort. The entire world seems to breathe on one long, steady thread. Even thunder joins in a kind way, a broad vibration that passes through air and stone, reminding me that the sky, too, has pulse and rhythm. Minutes gather and drift apart. My tea grows cold. The light slips from gray to deeper gray, the color of calm before rest. And still the rain continues, its perfectly even music playing over every thought until silence and sound become the same thing. Somewhere between one drop and the next, I stop trying to listen. I am simply hearing, simply being. And in that gentleness, peace begins to take its shape. The rain has found its melody now, not hurried, not light, just complete. Every surface sings its own note, the roof of a deep hum, the leaves a quicker whisper, the wooden railing a muted knock that beats softly beneath the rest. I listen from the chair by the open window, one knee drawn close, the other stretched toward the cool floorboards. Heat from the day still clings to the boards, meeting the cool air that slips through the crack at the sill. That mix of warm and cool feels like balance made real. The wind turns the page of a book left open on the table, slow and uneven. Flap. Pause. Flap again, like breathing made visible. The scent of wet pine fills the room. Somewhere within that scent is a trace of earth, clay, and moss, faint wildness. It reminds me of a path I once walked through a forest after the rain, when the whole world smelled green. I close my eyes again and let the memory dissolve back into sound. Outside, the rhythm changes. Raindrops roll from the roof in tiny streams, landing in the gutter with low notes, the kind felt more than heard. Sometimes a single drop slides through the gap, landing where the window frame meets my wrist. The droplet breaks, light, harmless, cool. As it dries, I can almost hear the faint crackle of skin warming it away. Minutes pass without announcement. The clock on the wall has no command. The night keeps its own measure. I realize how patient rain can be, how every movement it makes is circular, never chasing an end. The sound has a depth that words rarely reach. There is rhythm within rhythm, an entire language beneath hearing, each repetition a balm. I begin to notice smaller notes, like the quiet tapping of drops against a forgotten tin bucket near the porch. It rings in patterns, sometimes skipping a beat. Within that tiny irregularity, I hear comfort. Imperfection makes the pattern feel alive. Thunder murmurs again in the far distance, low and long. It doesn't disturb the rhythm, it widens it, reminding me how sound can fill space without crowding it. For a while I simply breathe. Inhale with the rise of the rain, and exhale with its fall. The longer I stay with that rhythm, the more the body understands what the mind forgets. That calm doesn't come from stillness alone, but from steady motion we no longer resist. The storm is movement at peace with itself. It falls without question, lands without regret, flows without hurry. I wonder what it would be like to think that way, to allow a thought to appear, to let it fall where it will, to trust that gravity will carry it away when its time is done. Rain as a teacher, wind as a quiet partner, night as patient witness. I lean deeper into the chair until wood meets shoulder, shoulder meets breath. The air tastes faintly of mineral and cedar. Each sigh of wind warms and cools by turns. The mind drifts not into story but texture, the sheen of wet glass, the soft glide of curtains breathing inward, the vibration of each droplet arriving, then gone. For a brief moment, I imagine the world seen from above. Thousands of rooftops beating with the same kind of rhythm, fields glimmering as if threaded with light, rivers tumbling quietly in their beds. Endless motion, endless calm. Another pulse of thunder travels through the valley. The windows tremble. I try to picture the vibration rippling through the night like a circle widening on water. Long after the sound fades, the feeling remains. It occurs to me that the storm doesn't end, it only changes form. Even if the rain were to stop, echo would continue within wood, within soil, within me. The rhythm outside begins to soften. Drops thin, then grow again, like breathing with a pause between. Through that pause, I hear something that might be silence, though it's filled with texture. The faint hum of air, the low rustle of leaves resting under their new weight, the quiet of everything having let go. This is the heart of the night, the moment when effort finally disappears. Nothing pushes forward, nothing withdraws. There's only a steady, generous balance that feels like belonging. I breathe it in until the breath no longer feels separate from the air. Thought fades into rhythm. Rhythm fades into rest. The rhythm quiets little by little, the way a lullaby fades when the singer grows tired. Each patter shortens, becomes a single tap, then a pause, then another, until the spaces between are no longer than the sound itself. I open my eyes. The clouds above the lake are thinning. Pale light slips through, silver is mist. The air feels washed, lighter now, clear enough to taste. I rise from the chair and move toward the door. The floor is cool under my feet. Even wood seems to breathe slower after rain. When I step outside, a quiet world meets me, one I have walked through many times, but rarely at this hour, in this stillness. The porch boards hold a faint shimmer. Drops gather at the railing before falling into the dark wild grass below. Their rhythm is slower now, a memory still playing itself out. The air carries its own kind of warmth, soft, damp, almost sweet. Every scent has deepened. Pine, earth, the slightest trace of smoke from somewhere across the sky. It feels like the world exhaling. I move to the edge of the porch and sit, elbows on knees, palms open to the breeze. The night seems enormous, but never empty. A cricket begins its steady rhythm near the field beyond the trees. Another joins, then a third, until the sound becomes a gentle current moving across the dark. I breathe with them. I inhale through the spaces between their song. Exhale where the air feels widest. My body loosens even more, a slow unfolding after years of holding. I hear a frog calling, low and deliberate. Ripples widen across the moon's reflection, bending light into soft rings that fade and return. The lake looks alive, the surface shifting like an enormous breath. Everywhere, small movements repeat themselves. A branch releases one last drop. Grass leans into the wind, then back. The porch creaks once, content to hold me a little longer. I find comfort in their ordinary persistence. Nothing asks me to add a thing. Nothing expects my attention, yet everything rewards it. I realize this is what peace truly feels like. It isn't a reward, it's a quiet agreement between body and night, a fullness that follows surrender. Rain gave its gift and moved on. In its place, the air carries an unspoken gratitude, as if the earth itself is saying thank you. I echo it in silence. For a long while I sit there, simply breathing, hearing, touching the damp rail beneath my hand. There's no rush to get up. The mind has fallen into rhythm with the world again. Every thought hushed into its proper size. Nothing larger than the sound of a single raindrop. Soon I'll go back inside, draw the blanket under my chin, and feel sleep arrive the way rain returned. Unforced, natural, kind. But for now, I stay to watch the last of the clouds drift across the face of the moon. A bright reflection trembles on the lake's skin and then steadies. The storm, the stillness, the night, each belongs to the other. I belong here too. I breathe one last time, slow and full, and let the quiet surround me like water closing over a pebble. The sound of the crickets rises and falls. The wind turns once through the grass, and the world, freshly emptied, begins again. The end. Take a slow breath. Feel the weight of the air around you, the quiet of night, the way it begins to hum once you stop searching for it. Rain will always teach us the same lesson, that every sound, every movement finds its own rhythm if we let it. You don't have to chase calm. You only have to allow it. Let your breath move with the steady pattern of the earth, in and out, in and out, a tide that never hurries. The storm has passed. The air is clear, and there is nothing more required of you tonight. Rest in the gentle shape of this moment. Rest in the peace that follows rain. Good night. As this episode comes to a gentle close and the world outside grows quiet, may you find comfort within your own meditation nest. Let your mind settle softly. May tranquility wrap around you, inviting deep rest and serene dreams until dawn. If you'd like to help keep the meditation nest aglow, please consider buying me a cup of coffee by visiting ko-fi.com/BethPodcast. Every small kindness helps the light travel a little further. You can also access a free weekly blog on Substack.com. Check the show notes for links. Until we meet again, rest in the quiet knowing that you are safely held by the night.